Hello, lovelies. This is Lynn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am doing a self-care recording right now, and I wanted to share the deck that I'm using with you. This is the Cosmic Journey Oracle. It comes with a workbook. Well, technically, it's not a workbook, but it's got directions if you want to journal from it. And this is by Yanik Silver. And I'll put that in the more section below. Before I move on, though, I want to show you the inside of the base of the box underneath all the cards. And what it says is you keep coming back over and over. It's in a circle, it's hard to read. You keep coming back over and over again to what you love, just with new wisdom at every turn and new expressions from your heart path. Isn't that beautiful? All right. You should see my table. It is a hot mess of cards I have spread out. All right. I am going to start. So one of the things, this video is going to be going up on Friday, May 2nd, 2025, and I'm recording it on Sunday, April 27th, 2025. And I'm hoping that you will take this as some inspiration to do some journaling or putting your thoughts in order in relation to the cards I pulled. When I started this, my ask is always for the community, for the collective, now and in perpetuum. And if that means after I'm dead and gone, okay, whatever. We're hoping this channel has that kind of longevity. Anyway, so this first card is your 11-year-old self. What do you notice on this card? And if you need to pause the video, pause the video. It's all good. Take a look at the card and see what stands out to you. I know when I was 11, I was very much this storm cloud up here. I still can be, truth be told. It's just very. A friend of mine years and years ago said, I'm not an optimist. I'm not a pessimist. I'm a realist, which makes me sound like a pessimist. It's true. I would rather look at things, I would rather look at reality face on than to. I'm very rarely a Pollyanna kind of like everything's rosy. It's not all rosy, just can't be. I try to be upbeat as much as I can be, but it doesn't always come across. All right, so 11-year-old self. Let me read what the book says. The attributes are playfulness, exploration, a need for safety, and childlike perspectives. That little boy or little girl or all of them inside of you, and I added the all of them because, scientifically they've proven, I want to say more than 50 different genders. So boy and girl, no, that's not it. That child inside you never goes away unless you stop letting them out. Then they wither away inside. They are your magical inner child with a mischievous little grin and sparkle in their eyes. Your 11-year-old self wants to play, explore, and feel safe. Your 11-year-old is also more perceptive than you realized. They know when they're safe and when they're not, and will create armor around their hearts to survive. How would you treat an 11-year-old? Coax your magical inner child to come out and play. So, some questions that I'd love for you to think about. And if you want to respond in the comments, that's awesome. What do you, my 11-year-old self, have to say about this? How can I play more? What would make this situation more fun? What did you like to do that I've forgotten? What do you want to share with me from my childhood? It's okay, you're truly safe. Whew, this last one is hard. Fair warning. What did I see happen when I was young that I haven't been able to share with anyone else? On that last question, I'm going to add another one, and that is, what did you learn when you were 11 and before that needs some shadow work, that has been buried and hidden, that you're not aware needs work until something happens and you're triggered by it? Um, I have three other cards. Sorry, four other cards. Excuse me. Nope. I was right the first time. I have a total of four cards. I have three others. Um, and I am going to ask you to pick the one that resonates the most for you and think about that perhaps over the weekend. Or if you want to come back to this video and share your thoughts here, you're welcome to do so. And if you just want to write them down or even just think about them and keep them private to yourself, that's good too. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So the next one is, the phoenix rises into joyful abundance. It is time to surrender your former smallness to your destiny of greatness. Are you ready to fully step forward into the total transformation of your business, your life, and your legacy, knowing you won't be the same again? It's a scary thought because our identities are so closely aligned to who we think we are with our existing business or previous accomplishments, but all of that is just R&D for what lies ahead. It's not about starting over. And by the way, R&D is research and development. It's not about starting over. It's about taking everything you've developed, built, researched, succeeded with, failed at, intuited, struggled through, and overcome. Every relationship you've nurtured, every network connection made, goodwill cultivated, reputation built, skills developed, it's all brought you right here and right now to this very moment. And like a phoenix rising, your emergence into joyful abundance is inevitable. Wow, that is lovely. Um, I have guided many people. I have to be careful how I say this. I don't want to give too much of my other life outside of YouTube creator away. I've guided many people on their thought process of former jobs and skills and where they can use those and how they can use those in building a resume that is both functional and um, in a timeline. And one of the things that I always tell them is that everything that you've done in your life counts. And any degree that you get, you may go into that industry or you may not, but that degree still counts. You learned something there. You finished that degree. You succeeded. And all the skills build one on another, on another, on another, and they move you forward in life. What I was, good Lord, 40 years ago in business. Oh, that's hard to say out loud. Who I was 40 years ago in my young adult life. Um, and the skills that I learned then, the regrets and the joys, they've all contributed to who I am now. They all contributed to the skills that I have now, to the skills that I've applied in any career that I've had since then. And me 40 years ago as a young adult, a very young adult, um, I was naive. I didn't have the empathy for other people that I do now. I'm a much different person today. And yet, that 19-year-old or 20-year-old or 25-year-old at any of those ages, and 30-year-old and 40-year-old me, all of those different ages of who I was and what I did helped push me forward, helped my spirit grow, my personality grow, my compassion for others grow. And with that, all right, so the questions that go with this card, if this one speaks to you, in my own mythic story of rebirth, what comes next? And then it says, make a research and development list of all your skills, lessons learned, failures, successes, key relationships, and discoveries. And the word failures, when I did this, air quotes, is there are quotation marks at failures here and over here where I read it to you earlier. So I love the what comes next part of this. What will you rebirth yourself to? What would you change? What would you, and if you make that change, how would it change your life? Okay, the next card is, let me find it in here first. All right, it is fulfill your destiny as a cosmic change maker. Sorry about that. I'll get it into the screen. Hopefully you can see it well. All right, as a cosmic change maker, you can create an impact through empowering those already making an impact. To help the helpers, to support the supporters, to catalyze the catalysts. Call now to your allies of joyful abundance, your magical inner child, spirit totems, guardians, and guides to awaken you to your full power and knowledge of how this can occur. Perhaps your greatest leverage may be in helping support and augment what global visionaries are already doing in the world. Imagine the ripples of impact that occur in this way. The question associated with this card is, who do I know who is already making a significant impact, and how may I be of greatest service to them? And then the next is, make a list of a dozen ways you can support those you have identified in the Cosmic Catalyst prompt, and then reach out to make it happen. Now, I say this as somebody who accomplishes a lot. I'm a very effective person in probably 99% of my life. There's the 1% part of me that says, nope, need to keep that back. So this card um, challenges you to do for others, to support others, to accomplish their goals, or to be the leader leading the way in helping others accomplish theirs. Support the supporters, help the helpers. And in this, I'm going to challenge you to not just help the helpers and support the supporters, but where do you need to support yourself? What part of your life needs better support? And remember not to spread yourself too thin, because if you are supporting the supporters and helping the helpers and catalyzing the catalysts, then make sure you keep enough energy for yourself to catalyze your own life, to support your own life, to help your own life. We often give a lot away to others. Be sure to keep some for you. All right. And then the final card is, and this one is really fascinating to me. Cut away what is no longer needed for you. Me. Love the reading on that. You no longer need validation. Ooh, you are sovereign. And I'm going to add here, you are enough. You are loved and loving. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beautiful soul. Okay. All right. What would your life look like if you really lived by this principle? What would change and what would stay the same? What would you do different in the situation that you are faced with right now? Why hold on to what's accumulated? Let me try that again. Why hold on to what's accumulated by default around you? Intentionally decide what stays and what goes. Consider the stories, beliefs, relationships, and even physical reminders that are not congruent with who you are now. I got a whole lot to say about that. Um, there was a show on years ago, Peter Walsh, Walsh. See if I can. Got a pen, but I got no paper. All right, let me go see if I can find Peter Walsh. A video here. I want to say he was on TLC, and he had a show where he went to people's houses and he helped them clear out all the stuff that they weren't using. And he did the um, keep, donate, sell. And I've seen recycle on there as well. So um, it was just a really fascinating show how to get through all the things that we accumulate in our lives that we just don't use. Um, Clothing, shoes, purses. Yeah. Anyway, and I have always felt the energy of stuff in my home. And by that, I mean, it's all stuff that says you need to do something with me. You need to put me away. You need to clean me. You need to organize me. You need to insure me. So you got to work and we've got a big enough home. You got more space. Let's buy more crap to put in that house. You got more space. I went from a 540 square foot apartment to a 750 square foot apartment. And then we bought a 1,500 square foot home with a 750 square foot basement. There's empty space, something's going to fill it. That's the rule in our house. I don't know what it's like at your house, but that's the rule in ours. Anyway, let me get to the questions because you don't need to know all that backstory about me. This is about you. All right. So, which old story has my family or lineage deposited on me that's no longer true? Wow. And here I was talking about stuff. Didn't read this first, did I? Um, Declutter your room or office. Remove anything that does not intentionally represent exactly who you have evolved into. So, the reason I brought up Peter Walsh, and this really talks about this, really connects with that last item of decluttering. He very often he worked with people who would say, that's my mom's or my dad's, whatever. And for example, my dad's military awards, but they were just tossed in a box, lid covered on the box, and the person never saw any of that. And so he helped them with framing those items and putting them up on the wall or in a way, displaying them in a way that gave honor to the meaning of that stuff. It's no longer stuff. Now it's a cherished item. And not everything in your home can be a cherished item if your home is full of stuff, right? Some of it is useful, some of it is cherished, some of it you don't need. Um, and as I raised my hand earlier and said clothing, shoes, purses, one of the things that I worked on late last year was going through all my clothes and pulling out the things that are really comfortable that I wear often, that I am that I go to, they're my go-to items. And in doing that, I really pared down my closet. I did the same with my shoes. I did the same with purses. And so I still buy new clothes. I buy products that I know are ones that I will wear. As I've gotten older, I have fibromyalgia, which, in case you're wondering, there's a research out of the UK from 2021. This is an autoimmune disorder. But as I've gotten older and the fibromyalgia has advanced, um, I have become very sensitive to fabric and scratchiness, particularly. So everything that I wear it, I'm not tolerating the scratch. I let go of all of those pieces of clothing that no longer serve me. And I hope that as if this card is the one that resonated with you, this last one, what can you cut away? What is no longer needed for you? I'm speaking about this in terms of stuff, but there are so many more meanings behind this. What in your life no longer serves you? Is that friends? Is that family? Is that business? Is that, what do you need to cut because it's no longer serving you in a way that helps you reach your highest and greatest good? Okay, and that concludes the reading. I'm going to hold up the cards very quickly again. Oh, nope, missed it. Sorry. Your 11-year-old self, internal playfulness, and how that can come out for you. The phoenix rises into joyful abundance. I don't remember what that one was. What would you recreate? How would you recreate your life? What would you do to make your life more fulfilling? Fulfill your destiny as a cosmic change maker. Support the supporters, help the helpers, catalyze the catalysts, save some for you. And then finally, cutting away what no longer serves you. All right, that is everything. One of the things that I particularly love about this card is the back of them, which always reminds me to say, you are made of stardust and magic. You are far more powerful than you realize, and you are profoundly loved. Right, blessings, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your day. This is going to be released on Friday, and I probably will not. I'm kind of aiming for weekdays for these, because I know how hectic weekdays can get. But go back to an older one if you missed it, because there's always a message that resonates again and again and again and again. So, all right, bright blessings. Take care. Have a good one.